Chris here in a prep work. We're going to do a spreadsheet in a second, and you're going to be spinning that as your first assignment. Okay, so I just want to make sure in Google Chrome you're logged into your Loyal Learning account. Okay, if you haven't, then please make sure you've signed into that Loyal Learning account, and you can go ahead and add a new, by Manage People, add a new person there, and make sure it's signed into your Loyal Learning account. Okay, so I'm going to open from a tab here. I'm going to go to the 9 dots called the waffle, and I'm going to go ahead and open my Google Drive. That's where I'm going to save all my stuff. And in my Google Drive, I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it MAP4C 2019 create. So in that folder, I'm going to put all my assignments. Okay, so I'm going to create a new assignment, and this time it's going to be a Google Sheet. I'm going to do a few things, and you're going to be submitting this. You're going to recreate this exact same sheet, and we're going to call it Lesson 1. Okay, so in Lesson 1, we're going to call this lesson and mark out of 10. So we're going to create lesson 1. We're going to do the first 10 assignments and pretend that we're going to mark out of 10. I've got this pattern 1, 2, 3, so I can actually highlight those and say, you know what, keep that pattern going until I get down to 10. I went too far. I'm going to delete this guy. And I'm going to do marks out of 10. You're going to use the same numbers as I did. 5, 6, 8, 9, 7, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9.5. And we're going to pretty this up by highlighting these and say, let's put some borders around them. And we're going to do a few calculations down here. So we're going to have the total, which is also known as the sum. We're going to have a mean calculated. We're going to have a mean, and it wants to predict calculated because I used that before. I'm just going to space to get rid of that. We're going to have median and mode. Okay. And we're going to do some calculations over here. Calculation. And we're going to end up doing this. A plus B in brackets times 50. I'm going to build up to that though. Okay. And I'm going to make this a little wider so I can see it. Whoops. Make this one a little bit wider so I can see it. And so I've got this one. So if I want to do a calculation, I hit the equal sign. And then I could say 1 plus 5 if I wanted to. And that does a calculation anytime. It's like a giant calculator. Or I could be fancy and say equals whatever's in this box plus whatever's in this box. Same answer, but the neat thing now is it's called dynamic. If I change this number to a instead of a 5 to an 8, my answer changes as well. Okay, undo undoes whatever I just did, or Control Z undoes whatever I just did. And the other neat thing is I could say, okay, take that A2 plus B2. It's like bingo cards. I'm going to put some brackets around it and say, take that answer. And now I'm going to times it by, so that's the star, the shift 8 to give me that star. I'm going to times it by 50. Okay. And I could take that answer and I could do the same thing here. I could say equals, in this case it'd be bracket this guy plus this guy times 50. That certainly works. Ends up being 400. Or I'm going to delete this one. I could have said, you know what, I like that formula. I'm going to drag that formula and highlight it down to here. Same answer. Now it says A3 plus B3 times 50. This one says A4 plus B4 times 50. It's predicting what I want to do. Let's put some boxes around that guy. Okay, total. We could say equals. Sum means add, bracket. And I can highlight all these numbers and add them all for me. Remember mean, which is kind of like an average. It says equals, you add them all up, so whatever's in here, and I'm going to divide by how many numbers were there. There was 10 numbers. There we go. Or there's also a calculated one in here to say equals average, which is also the mean, and I highlight all these things. Same answer. Or median says equals median. That says what's the middle number of all of these, and it works for me. Or mode, and sorry, the middle number, if you put them in order from smallest to largest, what's the middle number? Pardon me. And if there's an even number of numbers, they say what's in between the two middle numbers. So we're going to get to that in lesson 2 anyway. And mode says equals mode, which says which number happens the most. And we highlight all those and say there's the mode. 6 happen more than any other number. Alright, this is a really long video. I'm also going to put some boxes around these. I'm going to do one more thing because you're going to repeat this, is I'm going to do a little graph. I think I'm going to graph these guys. So I'm going to highlight all that and I'm going to say insert chart or graph, and that chart's going to pop up here. It gives me a few different options. We're going to look the more later. We can have a line chart, we can have a dotted chart called a scatter plot, or we can have curved ones, or we can have bar graphs, all kinds of different things. I'm going to do a scatter plot for now, and we're going to stop right there.